And welcome back, everyone. Behind the Counter, episode 6 here of the Behind the Counter podcast presented by Insane Games, live on Insane Games TV. We got a lot of stuff going on here today. Sorry for starting off a little late and it may be a little choppy. I think we still have some spectrum problems in the area from the storm that we're trying to figure out. It seems to be affecting our buy rate on our network, and it's causing some issues. So we apologize if it's a little choppy, but we are going live. I'm just making sure our sound's good before I continue talking. Work, and it's causing some issues, so we apologize if. Yep. So the sound does look good. So yeah, we're live behind the counter, episode 6 here. Mike was just quick helping a customer. So what's
dude?
Just explaining to the people watching our internet's a little choppy, I think, from the storm. So I think it's been a little bit of an issue yesterday. I know Dave had some problems with it yesterday, and of course, I love it. Well, I'm gonna stop for a minute. Can you not ask for more like perfect timing right there?
We haven't had anyone in here for like the last 30, 45 minutes, and the very second you hit go live, someone comes in with trade-in stuff.
The minute I hit the camera to turn over here, a guy walks in here. I mean, it's not their fault, but it's just like the timing, and it's like you don't understand that how much has happened every time we go live. Like, we would literally not have anyone here or come in here for like 2 hours, hour and a half, and like bam. It would just someone walks in here at the last like 10 seconds, if not on the dot, when we go live. It's baffling. But we had a big
someone coming in to buy something.
True. We had a big weekend here on Saturday. We had our second Call of Duty tournament, $400 cash prize. The winners were B&H. I'm not quite sure what it stands for.
Boats and Hose.
What?
Boats and Hose.
Fair enough.
They kept it PG. Nope. They just used the acronym, so I didn't have to scream Boats and Hose every time.
Their first names were Cody and Lucas. So they had a pretty good, I remember him coming in and talking about the tournament, the first one, but I don't think they came in. I think he had a scheduling conflict the first tournament. I don't think they played in the first one.
They were the first team to beat the Dream Team this time around. They were pretty good, no doubt.
They had a lot of communication going on between them throughout the game. Like you heard a lot of no, he's over here, he's over there. A lot of that was my mistake. They seem to work pretty well together. I think they're brothers. They have the same last name. Right? They're liking a lot of things on Facebook. So I'm guessing, can only assume that they're brothers.
Some of the deepest chemistry you could have.
But they went in. First off, they fell into the losing bracket. So let's kind of go over the tournament a little bit. So we had 16 teams, which again we had. I don't know if people familiar with this area know. People not familiar with this area, we had a huge ice storm, snowstorm / ice storm come through here Thursday and Friday, and pretty much knocked out power all throughout Saratoga. And we had no power here Saturday morning. I mean, we did, but literally. Quarter mile to the right, no power. Quarter mile to the left, no power. We're the one little grid here with power.
We got pretty lucky.
We got lucky for sure, but I think it affected some of the teams that were coming to the tournament. So we ended up only having about 16. And B&H, they started out they won the first matchup, I think,
against us.
And then the second matchup they actually lost and fell into, because it was a double elimination tournament. So they fell into the losers bracket and had to make their way through, and they did. They cleaned up house down in the loser bracket, made up all the way till the championship game, and went head to head with Revengeance.
No.
And so it was Revengeance versus B&H for the championship game. B&H, I think they went to the final.
It came down. It was best 2 out of 3 for the final match.
And it came down to the third match. So they both teams put up a fight, but B&H took it home at the end. 200 each, 400 total grand prize.
So not a bad little bit of cash for a tournament. Just coming in and having some fun.
You want to address the network problems that we had? Classic
Not really.
Classic Call of Duty
like
drama.
It seeped into a little bit today, but so far, so good. But yeah, I guess you just have to. Anytime you start anything, you have to make sure everything gets turned off and on before you get going. Because our internet was dropping like every 10, 15 minutes during the tournament.
I don't find
and then it would go on a long stretch and we'd be like, okay, it's good, and then it would happen.
Bam. I think it had something to do. I'm a firm believer that I think it had something to do with the storm, because we have not had internet problems or network problems here like ever. We bought this brand new router like 2 months ago, no problems, and now all of a sudden Saturday we have it dropping a bunch of times. We have frame rates that were dropping like crazy in Dave's program yesterday, a little bit dropping today.
We strained the system somewhat.
I don't think we did. I know.
We definitely put more on it than we ever have.
Well, first off, the LAN has nothing to really do with the router, I don't think.
And it's still streaming the gameplay.
Would it be? It's no different than us. No, if actually, it's less. It's less than we're not streaming a capture card. No, actually, we are streaming a capture card, so it's no different than a normal broadcast. So I don't think we were crazy with the amount of usage that we were using. I think it had everything to do with the storm coming out and knocking out. I think Spectrum's internet's not as good as right now.
I think you're being a wild man. Throwing out wild accusations. What proof do you have of that?
The proof that we haven't had a problem all of a sudden until after the storm. That's my proof.
Okay. You could say many things like that.
The router being restarted should have been a given anyway prior to the beginning of the tournament.
True. I'd say that's normally the standard procedure for a lot of things, but we also had our backs against the wall to make sure everything was going on time. But in the end, it all went off pretty good. Another successful tournament in the books.
Yeah, Dave and I announcing, which I thought was okay. I thought we did okay. Well, I think it was okay. I think Logan was good. We had Jackson.
Logan did a good job.
Jackson came in for a few minutes and then left. But I think it's
young blood.
It's tough to do. I think the problem is it's tough to do 7 hours of commentating. I give Dave and Boder a lot of credit from the first tournament. They did 8 hours of commentating. Besides Boder taking a minute to go get some pizza for that one break. But
yeah, I would absolutely need to take a break here or there. But
I mean, I think the better down the road would be to have 2 commentating teams, one every hour, and we rotate back and forth.
And yourself not on it.
I'm going to be on it. I like being on it.
I'm just picking on you.
But the fact of the matter is...
But you're going to have to improve your performance a little bit.
The fact of the matter is that you have 8 hours. I mean, you look at wrestling commentating or football commentating. They do 3 hours. That's not that bad. When I hit the 3 hour mark, I was like, okay, it's starting to get a little I'm starting to get dragged down a little bit.
Commercial breaks and stuff like that.
Right. We were non-stop.
No, you didn't have any commercials.
Kind of ridiculous if you think about it. Unfair working conditions, really.
Exactly, man. And you wonder why I'm retired from it from this point forward.
You're not retired.
I will never partake in another tournament.
I will not accept your resignation on that. Or your retirement.
We'll see.
It's absurd to be whipping around accusations like that. What's your basis for retiring?
I didn't enjoy it. It was not fun.
What was not the fun part? The internet going down?
That was part of it. And it was just unfair working conditions, as you said.
How so?
I had to stand for 9 hours straight.
9.
Worked for 12 hours. Didn't get any food or...
You got a pizza.
Dan got 1 pizza for everybody here. Poor Dave didn't even get any pizza.
Dave didn't want the pizza.
No, he said he wouldn't. He shook the box and it was empty.
I offered Dave pizza when it first came in. I went, and he went.
That's not the way he tells it. He said he was sad that he didn't get pizza.
I'm just telling you what happened. That's exactly what happened. When I walked through that gate, I went, pointed to the box like this, and he went.
I mean, I only had 1 slice of it. I'm normally a 3 to 4 slice kind of guy. So.
I had 2, but we not know the pizza goes quick around here.
So there's someone that had unaccounted for slices, and I will find out who
Jackson
it was.
had 1, but he was there when.
Still, I'm counting Jackson's slice.
How many did
you
Tom
had
have?
2, Tom had 2, and me and Jackson had 1 each. That means there's 2 slices unaccounted for.
Your boy Yo Soy was back there. Did he have one?
Yeah, maybe perhaps so. It's a mystery. We're gonna have to find out who ate those last slices.
And they'll have to be charged accordingly.
Have to review the footage and see who was having their hands in the box.
I had two. I was the one that I had the first two there. And I don't know where it went after that.
It's fine. You've already stepped up and you've taken responsibility for your slices. But there's someone that's missing right now.
Tom?
He said he took two.
Dave? Well, who's missing?
Dave said he didn't get any pizza.
Well, who you saying? You said there's
That's
one
what I'm
person
saying.
missing.
There's pizza that was left over and people didn't get pizza, so somebody stole pizza.
Grab me a pen.
Might have been Logan.
Grab me a pen.
Did Logan get up in there?
I don't think Logan got up. Grab me a pen.
Why do you need a pen for?
So we have how many slices?
8.
8? Is there only 8 slices in that one? That's actually absurd.
That's almost every pizza, Dan.
So
How
8
far
slices.
back are we starting this?
So we got 8 slices.
There's
Dan
cheese.
took 2. Okay, how many did Tom have?
2.
Tom had 2. Mike had how many?
1.
Are you sure you didn't have 2?
I'm pretty sure.
I find it hard to believe you only had 1.
I remember. I wouldn't say that. If I
Okay,
could.
that's 5. 3 slices left. Jackson, we'll just assume, had 1. You're looking at 6.
That means there's 2 unaccounted for slices there.
And possible people of suspicions are Logan. Dave very well could have had one. He's just saying he didn't.
I wouldn't leave him off the suspicious character list.
So you're telling me I should have him on there? Okay. So he could be the offender. Who else?
Ahaha, AC Weezy.
AC Weezy. What about the other guy that was with him?
The pizza was behind the counter
AC.
the whole time, so that might take AC Weezy and
I thought it was in the
his
back
partner
office.
out of the equation. It might be Logan. I think we already cracked the case based on that list.
We may have to pull up video footage. It's actually absurd. There's only so many people that have clearances behind the counter.
As I said, since it was right here during the...
Did Dave physically tell you he didn't have one?
He said he took the box and shook it and it was empty. And he was just like, that was a shame I didn't get any pizza. Pretty absurd. You had the man on the commentary team the whole
First
day.
off, Dave got offered pizza before anybody.
And
And
you didn't
Dave
give
should
him
know
any
that when
pizza.
there's an offer for pizza, you go for the pizza. Not wait after all the wolves have jumped onto the box and think you're going to come in and grab a slice after.
Well,
I mean, if anything, when Dave went like that, that implied to me that Dave didn't want any. Not that, hey, I'm going to come back 3 hours later and have one.
he's also live on camera and he doesn't want to be unprofessional and be like, yeah, can I have some pizza?
But you were just
Dick
walking in
move.
front of the camera, so...
Dick move, you didn't even cut him a slice and put it aside for him. And
I'm
I
not
think
sure that's how that
I
works.
think you owe him an apology as well.
For what? Asking him if he wanted a slice when I
For not
walked
putting
in?
one aside for him. Is that difficult to do?
That's absurd.
Not really.
Why would I give Dave an apology for that?
Because he got no pizza. And he was probably
First off,
starving.
I'm just finding out now that he just got no pizza. Second, I pointed down at the box I was walking in and asked him if he wanted one. He said no. He shook his head and went no.
He was on camera, Dan.
He could have said in a minute. He could have said, yeah, I'll give one a second. But he said no. And every indication
No,
to me
do
that
that
he didn't
while
want
you're on
any
the camera.
pizza.
That would be unprofessional. Of course he wants pizza. Who doesn't like pizza?
Well, maybe Dave didn't want any pizza.
He wanted pizza, Dan.
Okay, maybe he had something else he was planning on getting.
So we won't get too much into it, but you owe him an apology. Whether that's on camera or private, I'll allow that to be up to you.
I'm just finding out now that he didn't get a slice.
You didn't even get a lick of pizza from that box.
I think first off, I think the people who took the other slices, the other 2 slices that aren't accounted for, are the ones given an apology. Not me. I'm not going to apologize
Logan
to
was allowed
Dave.
to have one slice.
Okay. We don't know that he did, though.
What do you mean?
We don't know that Logan is the one that got it.
If he got 2, that's pretty absurd.
What happens if Jackson had 3 of them?
If Jackson had 3 of them, he's getting his ass whooped. That's what's happening there.
That's my suspicion, too, is that we're just assuming Jackson had 1. I think it's almost safe bet he had 2.
Jackson won't be allowed behind the counter ever again if that's the case. I will just leave the store tournament immediately if I see him behind the counter. I'll just go home.
And if the pizza box
understood?
And if the pizza box was on this counter for the entire time, we have plenty of evidence. Plenty of evidence to pull up to find out how many slices were taken. In fact, I'm almost inclined to go back and check right now.
I don't think you'll find it.
What do you mean?
That's a lot of time to review.
Do you not know how to track down video footage?
What do you mean?
You start at one point. Okay, the pizza box isn't there.
Closed.
Go
You're
to the
not
next
gonna be able to
box.
count the
Okay,
slices.
the pizza box is there. Okay, pizza box is there.
It stays there all day.
It's not
until
here, and
end.
it's here. So you go back to when it. Okay, now it's right. Okay, this is when it shows up, and then pretty much everyone's gonna take the slices pretty much right away.
I took one slice and I was done with it. So
either way, the pizza
I
scandal
would laugh if I ended
of
up
February is
taking-
really.
You say you're starting to put doubt. Did I take two? I think I only took one.
I find it hard to believe you only had one slice.
I was busy.
If you're a classic 3-slicer, you only had one slice. I find that very
and I was
hard
saving
to
pizza for
do.
everybody
If anything,
else.
that's more
I
suspicious
didn't know
than
who
two
else
pieces
had to
missing.
eat from that pie. I wasn't going to be absurd about it.
So we have 8 slices. We have 6 accounted for that we know of that were gone. And people on the list of suspects are Logan, Dave, AC Weezy, and AC Weezy's friend.
AC Weezy's friend.
Those are all people that had clearance to behind the counter or the back room. We don't know who came in or who didn't. We have ample amount of security precautions to take a look and find out exactly who did. But I did not know that Dave didn't get a slice of pizza. And it's absurd to think that I owe him an apology for that.
You do. You were in control of the pizza. The blame falls on you.
I walked
the pizza
in
commander.
for like the 8th time. I walked in as I was walking through that gate. Dave and I made direct contact with each other, and I went like this to the pizza box. And he went... And that it was every indication to me that he did not want pizza.
Well, Dave's not here to defend himself, but I find it very hard to believe it went down as you're saying it.
Why would I make that? In fact,
You
I
just
give
offer him pizza and he just goes...
the camera footage can find that. Dave clearly shook his head. Every indication to me that he did not want pizza.
I find that absurd.
Well, let's talk about the bigger pressing issue about the Call of Duty tournament, by the way. Is Team Frickin' Insane Games. Another slaughter.
We lost to the team that won.
If you couldn't go out to the woodshed once, you went out there twice.
I did good again. Once again, I did
So
well.
who you putting the blame on, Tom?
I think that's pretty fair to say.
So you live on
But
camera right
once
now,
again, the
you're
Dream
blaming
Team-
Tom for the
The
Dream Team
has a
collapse.
lot of shit to take care of during the tournament.
What's that? Well, how
we're
is that
not just
any-
playing in the tournament, we're running the show, alright? So maybe we didn't get enough time to prepare or get ready, and maybe had a little stuff on our mind, but I think we still did pretty good considering.
Pretty good
We
considering.
lost to the champions.
You want
Everybody else lost to them.
Mike, you said
Everybody else
You
lost
just
to 'em.
said you did pretty good. You got swept 0-6.
I had 8 kills.
The first game.
8 kills.
You didn't win a single round.
To the team that won.
Doesn't
They
matter.
would have raped you.
Only 3 only 3 matchups
So
in the first
you were
round.
too scared to hop on the sticks afterwards.
That's not-
But
that's
all the
not fair.
commentary team
Nope.
noobs that wanted to run their mouth got the work afterwards from
Nope.
the Dream Team.
I was
Logan
ori-
and Dave's head were spinning from
I
it
was
afterwards.
originally scheduled
You
to play in
would
the
have gotten
tournament.
dropped.
I was originally scheduled
You
to play in
don't
the
wanna
tournament.
play in the tournament.
And Tom made the executive decision without
would
my
get
knowledge to
embarrassed
take
on
me out
there.
and put a different person
You
in.
don't have the heart nor the thick skin to play in the tournament.
And I think it's come to because you don't have the skills. You and Tom
I
have been
did
practicing here.
perfectly
How
fine.
much?
Not much.
Not much.
Not much.
You guys, you played all on the Dream Team. Well, I'm sorry.
We
we
played
played
one-
25 minutes on the Dream Team show this past week.
And I think we did well for... I mean, we jumped into a tournament with some pretty good people. We just jayed up for pleasure from time to time. And I'm completely acceptable with my performance.
I am disgusted that you think that that's an acceptable performance.
I'm gonna say, I did better than Tommy, and Tommy destroyed you one-on-one, so... I don't think you have anywhere criticizing to say
Really?
about this tournament.
You're telling
He
me?
beat you 5 games in a row in gunfight, so...
You're telling me?
Destroyed you.
No, whoa. You're telling me
You
that
had the
Tom
little
destroyed?
box set up between the TVs and everything. Destroyed
That's
you.
bullshit.
Destroyed you.
First off, no, he
Maybe
did
one
not.
game was close. Okay, I'll give you. You had one close game with Tommy.
No, I
but all
didn't.
the other ones you destroyed.
It came down to the final kill.
And I did better than him in the
It
tournament.
came
So
down-
you really have nothing to say.
It came
about
down to the
gunfight.
final kill.
in one game.
No, it didn't.
And every other
We
one
had
was
the
like
Xbox
a 3-2,
One boxes up here. Even
like a
Johnny was
6-3,
being the bishop right here,
6-2 SmackDown.
being the referee.
I'm pretty sure he beat you like 6-1 the first one, and then you cried and said you needed the screen up in the middle.
For those bullshit.
And then-
He was doing a classic screen peeking.
And then
look.
Tommy, being the true champion he is, obliged and then beat you again.
No, he didn't. First off, it was fully.
Granted, it was closer
Nope.
that time.
It
but-
was fully acknowledged by the recreational committee right there and on the spot that it was unacceptable that we were playing with no barrier
It's not like
blocking.
he could see yours and he couldn't see yours.
You could be
though.
standing
it
here.
was completely fair.
No, you could be
He
standing
you
right
could look
here.
right at his.
You could be
And
standing
he could
right
look
here.
right at yours. It was
You could be
completely
standing
fair.
right here looking at this TV and see everything that's going on without even screen
Yeah,
looking.
so that's where you were standing, right there.
No, he wasn't. He was watching
plays
every
on
move
this
that I
side,
was
and
making.
you play on
Classic
that
screen
side.
peeking capabilities.
I'm not gonna try to defend Tommy's.
So we
rat
the
moves that he does.
recreational committee right there on the spot determined, okay, that a barrier had to be put in place, which it was, and the match restarted.
and then he beat you again.
No, he barely beat me again. Tom, you even said, "Wow, that was close."
I mean, if that was the only match you guys played, fine, it was close. But then you played multiple matches where you
No, we didn't. We did one match.
I don't think so.
To 6 rounds.
You had a rematch.
No, we didn't. We did one match, 6 rounds,
You played
and
two
it came down to
matches,
the final kill.
And he destroyed you.
No,
in
he
both of
didn't.
them.
He won 2 rounds, and I won 2 rounds.
And said that could have very well been the moment where you lost your team or your place on Team Insane Games.
No, I did. Really? You're blaming me?
Well, who else am I gonna blame?
Have you and Tom haven't even won a matchup in any of the 2 tournaments. Not a single matchup.
We had a couple rounds. We won a couple rounds.
Not a single matchup have you and really. You should be pulled in front of the recreational committee, and you and Tom should have to explain yourself to not only ownership but to
I just
everyone
did.
involved.
I did fine. Tommy might have an explanation
To
he
go
has
into
pull.
2 tournaments, 2 tournaments, you and Tom and not have won a single round.
I was on fire in that second match.
With what? With what?
I was dropping people left and right. And not to mention, the second team we lost to, Vapor and Zoom, had a former champion of our past tournaments on it. A former champ. We played,
that's what you're
we
blaming-
Played, we
you're
played
blaming the
champions
competition?
of this current thing and a former champion from our other championships. So, I mean, that's really not that bad that we got
It's really unacceptable.
We got screwed in the seeding
It's
is what
very
happened.
unacceptable.
That's the
and
truth.
I may even call the bishop himself and have a trial on the spot here at the store to determine how you guys performed. That was unacceptable.
We got screwed by the seeding
You got
and
you
did well considering.
First off, you are the tournament director, and you're blaming the seeding.
I mean, when I explain the thing, it's very random seeding. People get screwed in the seeding. Way she goes. That happened to us. Better us than actually other people.
Mike, you would have a valid argument, but you got swept 0-6 your first matchup. You didn't even win the matchup.
yeah,
around.
they beat everybody else as well. It's
They
not
got
like,
no. They
it's
got
not
sent.
like other people were beating
no.
them.
They got sent down to the loser bracket.
Yeah, but then they won.
Okay.
And then they made it back in and they beat that team.
they still got sent down to. So one other team did beat them.
Okay, but it didn't last long.
They had 2.
Because they came back and they won.
They had 2 matchups.
Okay.
Their first one they won. The second one,
I understand
the
that, but
second
they
one
still
they
won.
lost.
Who won
They
the
got
money?
sent down to. They did, but they still lost.
The team that beat us got the money.
That's not the point. What about the second matchup?
They got money in the past from our tournaments.
10 years ago.
We have been doing tournaments for 10 years.
5 years ago. No, Johnny.
Probably 3 to
Johnny,
4 at most.
No. Johnny used to be the tournament director. The bishop himself was the tournament director for the first ever tournament that we
I don't think
had.
That was 10 years ago still.
10 years ago. It was 2009.
I don't think so. I don't think you remember your years. Or your...
I am fully aware of my years. AC Weezy, heard there is some pizza theft speculation. Cody and I are innocent. My money's on Jackson. We will get to the bottom line of the pizza theft. I'm not quite sure what happened to the pizza.
I believe AC Weezy. He doesn't strike me as a liar. He would tell me. He would tell us.
Only
that
so
he-
many people
he'd
had
be like,
access
"Sorry,
to behind
guys,
the counter.
I took the pizza. So now the list is cut down.
Well, first, okay.
Poor Logan or Jackson.
We now have alibis for AC Weezy and his friend Cody. We'll check them off on the list for now. For now, we will take their word unless video evidence shows otherwise. But right now, that has been cleared. AC Weezy and his friend Cody have been cleared.
I think you have to write Jackson in on that list.
Even though we know he took one?
I don't know it for a fact. I'm just going off of what I was told by you, and then you told me you don't know. For
I
sure.
know that Tom and I were present when we said pizza, and Tom goes, "Can we get something besides cheese?" And Jackson goes, "Yeah, pepperoni." And I said, "Okay, half pepperoni, half cheese." I just assumed that Jackson took a slice, and for safety measures and precautions, we put him on here for one. To have 3 slices is very absurd. If he sat here and had 3 slices of pizza, not quite sure what move that is, only having 8 slices, and you're taking 3 of them. Very absurd.
I'm going to say, when you have to think about how many people are going to try to be getting some of that pie. Say, when it's just me and you splitting a pie, I can get away with the 4 slices. But...
And I go on the record that I don't believe I owe Dave an apology. I clearly identified to Dave, and Dave and I made eye contact when I said the pizza is here, and I want just like this. Again, for the record, I want like this, and I walked in, and I went right to the box, and he went.
Oh, we'll have to talk to him.
Every indication he didn't want a slice. He gave every indication he didn't want one.
And then he gave me every indication that he was upset that he didn't get a slice. So the truth lies somewhere in the middle. I think you just misinterpreted.
I'm writing right now. We will get a full statement from Dave regarding the situation. And Dave will address it on the Nerd Glasses podcast tomorrow. Full pizza statement from Dave Mann. I want him on the record exactly stating his position on the pizza controversy for the Call of Duty tournament. Fair?
Completely fair.
And we'll see how he
addresses it. And if the
record
records strike you guilty, an apology will be issued.
How so?
From you to Dave.
First off, Dave can be asked. Dave can be on a deposition. Is to be asked numerous questions. Were you notified that the pizza arrived? That's the first question. Did you or did you not say no? You didn't want any. That would be the second question. Yeah. AC Weezy, 3 slices stolen. That's more rounds than Team Insane Games. Thank you. Thank you. Someone else noticing your performance in the Call of Duty tournament.
They got eliminated by the same team that beat us, so whatever.
But they also won. Not to mention they made it to, I think, the Final 4 in the last tournament.
Say, if we're doing what ifs, I mean, what if the Dream Team played the teams that they played? Maybe we could have beat them too. But the fact of the matter is, we got put up against the.
You have everything in your palms. As people say, like the kangaroo court around here.
That would be highly illegal to do those kind of moves. Dan.
But you
just because you have the power doesn't mean you have to take advantage of it.
I didn't say that.
We're running a clean show here, Dan.
That's not what I said either.
We're not just going to be like, oh, we don't like our seating. Let's move us and put
As
us
Dave Mann himself
spot.
Called it on the stream, he called it a kangaroo court. I forget what it was, but I said he could be called into question for comments he made on the stream.
I thought he was calling me and Tom a kangaroo court. I don't know what the fuck he said, but he better watch his fucking mouth with the kangaroo
But he called all of the kangaroo court, which may or may I can't. You know, we have certain policies and politics and authority around here. There is a recreational committee that makes decisions when it comes to activities outside of the realm of HR, such as disc toss, Call of Duty, any of the recreational belts, tournaments. We have what's called a recreational committee. It consists of 3 members, one that has full control and the other 2 that have voting power, and actions are determined. I petition for weekly online tournaments.
I wonder how.
It'll have to be put in front of the recreational committee, AC Weezy. It'll have to be decided and voted on accordingly.
I think the competition committee is Tommy just bossing you around, and that's how that goes.
That's not quite how it goes. Not at all. But all in all, Call of Duty tournament I thought was a success, despite the fact that the Dream Team got slaughtered, and despite the fact that we had a pizza controversy behind the scenes. And third of all, the fact that we had a storm and some teams weren't able to come. I thought overall it was a mild success. More exposure, easier setup, less pizza theft. I'm more concerned about the less pizza theft.
That is a huge issue.
Huge
issue.
Let's jump into some store drama and politics going around. Speaking of the Call of Duty tournament, I don't know where Nico has the gnats, okay, to make a photo. Let me grab it. I'm going to grab it. For people watching at home, this will be the only time you ever see this photo, okay, but I will pull it up here. That was sent to me while I was live streaming Okay, by the way, I was live streaming this when this was sent to me. Very absurd. Let me pull it up and put it into the camera for people to see.
It's a pretty wild
I
image.
hope
Prepare
people can see
yourselves.
that. Very absurd that photo was ever possibly created. Did it come up good?
It's just the picture of you.
Okay, I will not
You don't
tolerate
like people taking your picture? Is that what you're saying?
What?
I said you don't like people to take your
First
picture.
off, I think there's a controversy here that Tom purposely angled the camera for my forehead to be looking like that. First off, if the camera was angled straight on, that wouldn't be the problem. But the camera was right here. I'm looking downward.
I already cracked it when I was looking at it myself.
It's not a real
What
picture.
he did
He altered it.
He took a picture of it on his laptop because you can see the edge of it right there, and he was trying to tell you, but you weren't understanding.
That's not what my head looks like.
He took a picture of it and it distorts it how he has his phone.
No.
Then your forehead just looks like
My forehead's not that big.
Exactly. He did it because how he was holding his phone, it stretched it out. That's what he was trying to explain to you.
No phone stretches it out that bad, Mike. That's absurd.
It's something with the effect between the camera taking a picture of another
It's
screen.
an altered photo. He took a real photo and altered it. That is not how it looks.
Everything else around, there's no stretching in the image anywhere else.
Nope. That is so absurd.
There's no evidence to suggest Photoshop in that photo.
So absurd that someone would that is an altered photo. Nico could be called in front of the recreational committee for giving out false lies like that. That is absurd.
Nico doesn't give a crap.
Then,
Speaking of Nico, where has he been during these tournaments?
Then, exactly, Pennywise. Thank you. It looks just like Pennywise. It's an altered photo. I'm telling you right now.
It does kind of look like Pennywise.
It looks just like Pennywise. It's an altered
I didn't
photo.
make that connection. Not bad. Not bad.
Who said that? It's emotionless.
All you gotta do is get those little red lines down your face.
Nico will pay dearly for that.
One of the eyes that goes off to like the side.
In clear Nico fashion, he made it his Xbox Live profile picture.
That was completely outrageous.
It's very absurd.
I would have reported him to Microsoft for that.
I'm sitting there last night playing Overwatch. I go into my Xbox Live dashboard. I go, "What the hell is this?" And then it was right there.
You're looking yourself right in your own eyes.
And then, of course, when I click on a profile, it makes the picture even bigger. I go, "This is absurd. It's very absurd." I mean, who does that?
I think you deserved it, probably.
I deserved it?
I don't know the true story, but you probably were tempting their hand somehow.
I was live streaming.
So they had to strike it
I was
somehow.
commentating on the TV, on the stream with Dave, and my phone beeps, right? This is exactly how I found out about it. Okay, I'm sitting there, my phone's over here, facing down like this. I'm talking, commentating, and I get a notification of a text, and I check my watch, and the goddamn picture comes up on my watch, and I literally started laughing. If you go back and find it, I had to bite my lips. I actually started laughing. It was absurd. I mean, it's a funny photo when you see it for the first time, but it's definitely altered.
It's not altered.
It's not a real photo.
You did a picture-taking technique, but it's not altered.
And of course, Tommy has the camera angle to look ridiculous, so my forehead looks that big.
Dan.
I was set up to look like
Tommy
a fool.
only had one rule when it came to the cameras and where they were. He said, "I don't care about them. You do what the fuck you want with the cameras." And I heard that exact sentence probably 4 to 5 times. So anyone to blame for the forehead angle is yourself.
That is so absurd. So absurd. Let's jump into let's give the people a little update on our Overwatch Team 6. So we just started playing Overwatch the last 2 weeks. Now I've dived into it 100%.
Say that last sentence again.
What?
We started playing 2 weeks ago.
I started playing 2 weeks ago.
You started playing.
I will not be the doormat, Mike, for people to take out their frustrations for losing.
I just wanted to repeat that. Continue what you were saying.
I will not be a doormat. I know the politics of how Overwatch and a team of 6 does. When a team of 6 is playing together, you can't blame the one guy who's not in the party with you. You have to blame someone. I will not be a doormat for it.
So you're saying you're better than Dave? You're saying you're better than Johnny, or better than Tommy, better than me, better than Butt.
I'm not
So
saying
if it comes
that.
down to where it has to be one of all those people's names that
So
is
wait.
just doing that's fault.
So you're
I'm
saying...
saying it's Dan's
So let me get this
fault.
right. You're saying that if the team ever loses, it's just automatically my fault?
I didn't say that.
What do you mean?
I'm saying there's
I'm
a high
not saying
chance it was
I'm
your
not.
fault.
No, I'm not saying I'm better than other people.
I didn't say it's automatically
No,
your
no,
fault.
I'm not saying I'm better, but I
I'd
also...
say 80% chance it was.
First off, that's not a fair statement because not everyone's playing the same positions when they're playing.
What's that mean?
What that means
You
is
just jumped
when
wildly.
when there's 6 of us playing, let's say it's Butt Johnny healer, you Tom DPS, Dave and I tank. We may lose because those 2 weren't healing correctly or doing that well healing when I'm doing my job as a tank. That doesn't mean because we lost I'm the worst player because their healing wasn't that good.
Obviously,
Or you
every
two
game
couldn't
has
get
its-
you two couldn't get the other 2 DPSs under
Obviously,
control.
every game has its unique situations, but you uniquely find a way to screw us over every
You know,
game.
no, not really. You know who slides under the radar every game? Every game who slides under the radar, and no blame ever gets put in his
This is
direction.
interesting. Who?
Slides under the radar. You never hear about his
I had
performance.
2 names in mind.
You never hear. You never hear about his performance, whether it's good or bad. You don't hear about it at all. He's never up on the thing. Never gets play of the game. I've come to notice. Who do you think I'm talking about?
Is it your brother?
Yup. Yup. Tom sits there and attacks everyone, especially me, with his toxic comments and his behavior. But yet, I'm not quite sure he ever really delivers for the team.
That is a tough thing to say.
We never hear about his eliminations.
I mean,
We never hear about his good double plays as the Reapers. What do they call the special thing at the end? The particular move, the ultimate. For his ultimate, I never see he never gets play of the game for
You
it.
got some Moira ones from time to time, a little Reaper die action.
And I'm not quite sure he's a good healer.
Based on what?
Based off, I never get healed when he's a healer.
I think there's a little bit of a rough thing going on where he just doesn't heal you on purpose.
Is that good teamwork?
Because he doesn't consider you a
Yeah,
fire.
you tell me right now he does that.
If I'm going off his...
Are you stating right now for the record that Tom does
His train
that?
of thought is that he's higher priorities to heal because they're doing more for the team. And I can't argue with that.
So you tell me he's being an accurate and effective healer.
I can't confirm it.
If you're a healer,
You're
your
saying you
job
never
is to
get
heal.
healing. I find
Despite
that
the politics of the
wildly-
team members, despite the politics of the team members, it is your job to heal.
I heal everybody always because I play as Lucio, so I have no choice to cut people
And
off
second,
immediately.
I'm a respectful player. So when I'm
How's it
playing,
going?
okay, all I hear when I'm the healer is, I need heal, I need heal. I don't throw out those demands.
I'm in the same boat. I find it highly disrespectful when people say I need healing.
I need heal. I need heal. Know who else does that? It's Dave. Dave is a classic. I need heals. I need heals. Like, okay, Dave, I'm trying to get to you. Dave does it all the time. I've come to notice
If we
too.
rewind this 5 seconds ago, you were just saying Tommy never heals you.
Yeah. How's that have
So
anything
now
to do?
you're being like that. You're saying I need heals.
What I'm saying is, when I say I need heals, I never get heals. And first of all, I don't say I need heals. Okay, I'm just saying those are the type of people that are a problem when they do that. I don't get heals from Tom whatsoever when we play.
Maybe not as much as we used to, but we pocketed you so much from time to time. And then
But
you
back to the
broke our
bigger
trust.
picture. The
So
bigger
moved on to
picture
different
is,
people.
I have a suspicion that Tom flies under the radar with how good he is in how good he is in Overwatch. You never hear about Tom. I'm gonna start asking Tom, how many eliminations did you get this round? How
Well,
much damage as a DPS did you
You
get?
used to have a stellar SR to hide behind, but now that's starting to take a little bit of a plummet.
And of course,
He's down with the silver boys
and of course,
these
because he's in the
days.
silver division, all we hear about how it's our fault. Oh, I can't believe it. And you know, ready for the other one? When we played Saturday night, did we not win all of our games? Okay, who was on that team when we played?
Well, let's not.
Let's go through the names. Who
Johnny
was playing?
on his Smurf account.
Johnny wasn't playing Saturday night.
Oh, no, Johnny.
Let's go over who was
But.
playing. But
Was playing on a Smurf account.
doesn't matter.
You can't just overgloss that issue.
Who else was on the team?
He was playing with his account that purposely got us in the worst people.
Who was it? Who else was on the team?
It was me, you,
Mike,
Ed, those,
Dave,
and Dan.
and Dan. And did we not pull out a win every time we played? We lost once.
Dave
we
is
went,
pretty much a Smurf because he has a tank rating of 1,000 even, maybe even under that now. Is that all to blame his fault? I don't know, because he does turn off a lot of games here mid-session.
Not lately.
And that
He
drives
hasn't.
your season ranking all the way down. But
We went 6-1 Saturday night. 6-1. We lost once. What happened on Sunday? Now what happened on Sunday? We throw Tom into the mix. Did we not? And we took Dave out. Now, in your argument, you would say Tom's a 10-time better player than Dave. Am I right?
10 times is a little ridiculous to say that about anybody, but he's certainly better than Dave.
So why did we lose? But was still on the same account he was playing on
his other
Saturday.
account. He's playing on
Who?
iButt,
Okay.
which is pretty much his normal skill ranking.
Okay. We were still in the same divisions playing. Fat
We
Boy the
actually
Chain.
have him
Saturday
defending-
equals Butt playing on his bronze account. Sunday equals no Dave and Butt on his platinum account. He was on his platinum account.
I think it was.
It wasn't his platinum account.
I mean,
F's Balla, I'm sure, is his platinum account.
he doesn't use that. I had a long discussion with him the other day.
But why did we lose? All I'm saying is, we never hear about Tom's performance at the end of the game. We never hear about it. He always flies under the radar. We don't hear about how many eliminations he had, or what type of healing, or what type of damage he did. He's right there, throwing out the toxic comments about everyone else. He puts me on. In fact, I have a suspicion he puts me on the radar with the false information to protect that he doesn't get thrown under the bus for his performance.
That is
One could
a
argue
wild
that question.
Conspiracy.
One could argue that question. Do you hear about Tom's performance?
I saw we and Tom screenshot each other's reviews that we get from Johnny.
I don't care
afterwards.
about Johnny's reviews.
And
I'm
Johnny
saying
spoke of him
that
pretty
I don't
favorably.
care about Johnny's reviews. When I am saying, first off, Johnny's a kiss ass when it comes to you and Tom. He's trying to keep you guys playing. Okay, he's kissing your ass with decent guys. Oh, your performance is pretty good. Don't give me that.
I already know my performance is good. I don't need
And
people
then
to
let's
tell
put
me
you
that.
on the spot for a minute. Are you accepting Johnny's criticisms? From the guy who
He
playing
just told
over,
me stuff I
from a
already
guy
know.
who playing Overwatch before everybody else.
They're true. Anybody that watches the game and actually watches me from a critical standpoint could probably say that I know my issues
So
myself.
you wouldn't have an issue with me sitting down and critiquing your game and
You
mapping
wouldn't
it
know
out?
the issues because you don't know about the game.
I know plenty about the game.
You don't know the difference between speed boost or healing, so I mean that's one of the first things we're talking about.
I don't know
He's
every
getting
character.
deep with my critical analysis. I don't know what he said to you.
All I'm saying is I'll even take Tom out from the microscope. Well, all I'm saying is we never hear about Johnny's, Butts, yours, Dave's, or Tom. We're all critiquing Dan. We all put
I'll
Dan
critique
as.
Butt right now. He's absurd. I was watching him. I watch him all the time.
But a Butt
Johnny, on the other hand, he got called into question last time.
First off, his attendance record is getting called into question. It's becoming quite unacceptable that not all 6 people have been on. Getting very absurd.
I don't know what to say about that. My
So
attendance
what were you
record
saying a
is
second ago? What
perfect.
about Johnny?
I don't think he's as good as Butt. He's still better than you by a mile.
I have not once said I'm better than anyone. I know my place on the team. I'm simply saying I will not be the doormat for when the team loses. That it's just automatically Dan's fault. No, unacceptable.
So
it
if we
will
take
not be
video
tolerated.
evidence and prove to you as to why it was your fault. You
You know
would
what?
accept
We're
that.
not doing that because out of the cronies like you, Johnny, Tom, Butt, Dave, you guys will hatch some kind of plan and make something out to be Dan's fault, and I will not have any of it. It's absurd.
I don't know, Dan. If you turn in on Wednesday, we're gonna have a big presentation about how
Propaganda.
you
It's
screwed
false
us up the other
propaganda.
day. 'Cause I don't want to talk about it too much because we don't have anything to show anybody. But there is some pretty shocking video evidence of Dan's Overwatch skills at play.
Absolute disaster.
Shocking, to say the least.
All in all, I feel like our team is starting to produce. Team politics set aside, I'm starting to believe that it's starting to become a decent team.
We're starting to learn each other's ticks and whatnot. You have improved, trolling aside, a little bit.
I think the big question is Dan better
But
than
just
Dave?
because you improved, it doesn't mean you just all of a sudden stop taking criticism.
That's not what I said. I know when the criticism is accurate and when it's not. I know when I'm just being an scapegoat and when I actually have something to work on.
So now can we apologize for you dying to Diva's Ultimate last night?
I did not have my see. Here's another thing.
You don't need the shield.
You don't give out accurate information. If I had the shield up, I wouldn't done it.
All you had to do was go from here to here.
I didn't see her doing the power move.
It's flashing red.
I must not have seen it.
Exclamation point.
I must not have seen it.
And she screams, "Nerf this!" And it's a huge spectacle. How can you not see it? And it was right in front of you from video evidence. You were looking right at it.
More importantly, before we close out the night here,
I mean, obviously it was a mistake, but you just need to apologize.
I'm not apologizing. I did not see her doing her ultimate.
Bad plays happen. People make mistakes. Not a big deal, but we just need to apologize and move on.
Not apologizing. It's like I'm not apologizing to Dave over the pizza. I'm not apologizing for that. It's absurd.
That just makes you look like a stubborn person, Dan.
Let's get down to the
Stubborn
bottom
and
line.
rude.
What are we doing about the attendance records of the playing Overwatch?
I could very well quit any day, so attendance records mean nothing.
I think you and I have a perfect attendance record right now.
My Xbox record is always stellar.
But had internet problems for 2 days. Johnny went on some sabbatical for 3
those
days.
two, they play every day, all day for 5 hours. But of course, once we start playing, all the issues start coming where they can't play.
That's actually a very good. That's a very good point. These guys have been playing every day for 2 years, but when we start playing, now all of a sudden they have things to do.
No, it's absurd. And say, I don't know about the allegations of people watching Bachelor tonight over playing Overwatch.
If I find out
that's the case, I will just
that
never
the
play
Bachelor
again.
is the reason why people aren't playing Overwatch, I will have an unleashing like you've never seen before. Johnny, who walks around here and criticizes every possible thing that I watch, read, look at, anything, and he's watching The Bachelor, so unacceptable. And the fact that Tom knows all the details about The Bachelor is concerning as well.
Well, you guys all watch Big Brother. I wouldn't call that much.
All I know is the attendance record is starting to become a problem. So let's recap this episode. I will not be a doormat in Overwatch. We will get
Unless you deserve it.
We will get to the bottom of the pizza debacle of the Call of Duty tournament and find out exactly who took all the pizza slices. 3 of them are unaccounted for at the moment, and we will find out who it is. We have our list. Oh, look who's in the chat. Mr. Dave Mann himself. Do you care to, Dave, for you watching, you are going to issue a full statement on Nerd Glasses tomorrow as to exactly what occurred during the pizza debacle.
I'm sitting here defending you, Dave, saying that it was bullshit that you didn't get any pizza.
It has
Dan
come to
is
my
saying that
attention.
he will not apologize.
It has come to my attention, Dave, that you were possibly upset about not getting the slice. And the facts that I said right here on the stream were I walked into the store, pizza box in my hand, and I went like this to you, Dave. I went, and you went, and that was every indication to me that Dave didn't want any pizza at that moment. Maybe. The pizza box came here. I had 2 slices. Tom had, no, let me recap. Tom had 2 slices. Mike says he had 1. And we believe that Jackson had 1. So there's 2 slices unaccounted for. I just assumed Dave had a slice. And now Mike had told me Dave didn't have a slice.
And he confirmed it right there. He said he didn't get any pizza.
But well, you're telling me I owe Dave an apology.
Yeah, as pizza commander, you should have put a slice or 2 aside.
I
for
did.
Your boy
I was under the assumption that Dave didn't want a slice.
For 12 hours on the commentating team. Perhaps
I was under the assumption that Dave did not want a slice.
Is growling.
We will find out because we have plenty of video proof where those other 2 slices occurred. And I will make sure that Dave issues a full statement on the pizza debacle of the Call of Duty tournament on Nerd Glasses tomorrow. He will address it.
I find that
he will address me, bringing it in and confirming with him.
That's what I said, Dave.
That the pizza was here.
He said he's not upset, but he thought that's what people that are upset say. First of all, but
what?
He said there should have been at least 1 slice for him.
It seems like you have an issue with it, Dave, and you will get a full statement from you on Nerd Glasses tomorrow.
Rightfully so. We're not putting him out to burn for it.
We had AC Weezy on here as a suspect.
Dave deserved this slice of pizza, and it will be got to the bottom.
AC Weezy we had down as a suspect and his friend. AC Weezy joined the chat because he heard that he was under speculation of taking a slice. Okay, and he joined the chat and has acknowledged to us in chat that he did not take any of the slices. So we have now marked him off for now until we review the cameras and issue a full statement. A full statement will be announced on one of our social media platforms this week. End of story.
And if you are damned by this evidence, you will be issuing an apology to David Mann.
Anything else for Behind the Counter tonight?
And me, for putting me through this as well.
Any other comments for Behind the Counter?
No.
Yeah, episode 6, Behind the Counter. Great program here tonight. Mike is up next, hopefully finishing Metal Gear Solid on Retro Monday. AC Weezy is up after that with Monday Night Gaming. And make sure you check back tomorrow with another full slate of programming with 2v2, Nerd Glasses, and the Citadel. That's Behind the Counter this week. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. Retro Monday up next.